Okay, we are live.
Are you ready? Lauren?
Did anybody else in the chat hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Can hear you.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. I hereby convene the October 9th, 2023 hearing of the Santa Barbara County Zoning Administrator. My name is Linda Liu, and I'll be the zoning administrator for today's hearing, and Mr. Jonathan Martin is clerking. This hearing will be conducted under the provisions of the Ralph M. Brown Act, Open Meeting Law, as well as the provisions of California Planning Law and the Santa Barbara County Code. We have two items on the agenda today. The clerk will read the item into the record, and I will announce any ex parte communications. And I will then get comments from the case planner, followed by the applicant or the applicant's agent, and then followed by the comments from the public. Anyone who wishes to testify should use the raise hand feature or submit a speaker slip if you're in person. All right, the first portion of our agenda is the general public comment. This period gives the public an opportunity to comment on matters that are not on today's agenda. Mr. Martin, do we have any requests to speak on that?
We have received no requests to speak on this, on any items on today's agenda. If anybody would like to make a comment on today's agenda, please, or comment on something not on today's agenda, please raise your hand. See none?
All right, then, Mr. Martin, I think we are ready to proceed.
Okay. Okay. The first item, the following is the hearing on the request of Daniel and Ellen Kessler to consider case number 22 CUP-00000-00025 and to adopt the mitigated negative declaration 23 NGD-00005 pursuant to state guidelines for implementation of the California Environmental Quality Act.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martin. I do not have any ex parte communications to announce. Mr. Kringle, are you ready to proceed with your item?
I am.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Okay. Good morning, Ms. Liu. The project before you today is a request for a minor conditional use permit, MCUP, to allow for 12 commercial events per calendar year with a maximum of 2 events per month. Each event will be limited to 150 guests. All facilities for the event will be portable and temporary in nature, including but not limited to an event tent, portable restrooms, portable catering amenities, and a rental dance floor. Food will be prepared on site in licensed food trucks or mobile kitchens. No permanent improvements are proposed as part of the project. Commercial events will be conducted on 12 days of the year from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Amplified music will not exceed 65 decibels at the property line. All amplified noise and lighting will end by 10 p.m. Setup for events will be completed within 48 hours of the event's end at 10 p.m. on the event day. And all noise generating facility activities related to equipment setup and cleanup will be limited to the hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Access to the event site will be provided via an existing 20-foot wide concrete driveway from Highway 246. A designated parking coordinator will be present on site during events attended by 100 or more persons, and guests will arrive and depart via shuttle service from the Lansby Hotel in Solvang, the San Ynez Inn in San Ynez, the Fest Parker Inn in Los Olivos, and other similarly local hotels. Shuttle services will be contracted with licensed and insured companies with trained professional drivers, including but not limited to the Santa Barbara Airbus, Limo Link Transportation, and Jump Off on the School Bus LLC. The shuttle will drop off patrons at the reception area, and the last shuttle and all guests will leave the property by 10:20 p.m. on the evening of an event. Parking and turnaround for shuttles and event staff is available within 100 feet of the proposed event area. Each event will include approximately 8 employees. Caterers and staff will leave the property by 11 p.m. on the evening of an event. There are 6 permanent parking spaces. 2 of them are ADA designated parking spaces available on site for employees, mobility impaired guests, and members of the event party. Additionally, there is a 4-foot wide ADA accessible pathway that will lead from the designated parking area to the reception area. And the property is served by a private well and on-site wastewater treatment system. However, no water or wastewater treatment services will be required for the project due to the temporary nature of the facilities. Fire service will be provided by the Santa Barbara County Fire Department. Additionally, for the project's environmental review, it required the preparation of a mitigated negative declaration, 23 NGD 5, which is circulated to the state clearinghouse for a 30-day review period from August 30th to September 29th, 2023. And this MND received no comments from any agencies. Finally, staff appreciates the questions that were provided in advance by the zoning administrator last week, and I want to take the opportunity just to address them. In regards to the question about the requirement for a parking coordinator for events with greater than 100 people, that requirement comes from LUDC section 35.42.260.E, temporary uses and trailers. It specifically calls out that a coordinator is required for events with over 100 people attending. And it doesn't specify events with less than 100 people. That's why it's only required when there's greater than 100 people. And then in regards to the question regarding the fire department's review of the project and condition 8 from the conditions of approval, this project was reviewed by the fire department at SDRC, but received no comments as there are no permanent structures proposed. However, the same section that I mentioned earlier, LED section 35.42.260.E, it has a requirement that specifies that a temporary use shall receive the review and approval of the county fire department if required. Therefore, we implemented condition number 8 to require county fire's approval on all events with greater than 49 people. And that 49-person threshold comes directly from the county fire's website, which specifies that a special event is a temporary gathering of 50 or more people. Regarding the zoning administrator's question about neighbor comments, staff has had one neighbor reach out, and it was only in support of the project. This concludes my presentation, and staff is available for questions, as well as the agent, Brett Jones.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kringle. Mr. Jones?
Good morning, Miss Lou. Can you guys hear me okay?
You can. Thank you very much for being here. Do you have anything to add to Mr. Kringle's presentation?
I do not. I just wanted to thank Mr. Kringle for his diligence on moving the project forward. I also wanted to let you know that we have reviewed the conditions of approval, and I believe Mr. Kessler is on as well, but we do approve the conditions as stated in the conditions of approval along with the MND. So I don't have any other questions, but I'm available for to answer any that you might have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. Mr. Kessler, would you like to say anything about this project?
Not at this time. I'm just listening in case there are questions I need to respond to.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Martin, do we have any requests to speak?
We have not received any requests to speak, but I'd like to open up if anybody would like to make a public comment on this item. If you're in the chat, please raise your hand. If you're calling in, press *6 to unmute and *9 to raise your hand.
All right.
Seeing none?
Seeing none, I don't see any requests to speak or any people in the audience requesting to speak on this item. Mr. Kringle, thank you very much for addressing my questions regarding the designated parking coordinator. Is that possible for you to add that into the findings so that we ensure that that detail is listed in there?
Certainly, I can add it, and I think we could probably, in the action letter, address that.
Yes.
But yeah, yeah, I can totally do that.
And then we would also modify the findings and right through underline to include that information.
Certainly.
Great. All right, then I don't have any further questions for you, Mr. Kringle. And Mr. Jones, thank you very much for being here. I'll go ahead and close out the public item for this public hearing for this item. And I will make the required findings for this project as specified in attachment A of the staff report, including the CEQA findings and as revised in today's hearing. I do adopt the negative declaration 23 NGD 0005 included as attachment C of staff report and adopt the mitigation monitoring program contained in the conditions of approval included as attachment B of the staff report. And I approve this project case number 22 CUP 00025, subject to the conditions of approval included as attachment B of the staff report. Thank you very much. Mr. Kringle, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jones, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, Mr. Martin, next item, please.
Following is a hearing on the request of the owners Finca Madruga Inc. and William and Paula Shortell to consider the case number 22 LLA -0000005 and to determine the project is exempt from environmental review pursuant to section 15305 of the state guidelines for implementation of the California Environmental Quality Act.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martin. I do not have any ex parte communications to announce on this item. Ms. Vosberg, are you ready to proceed?
Hi, good morning. Yes, I'm not sure if I can start my video, but if you guys can hear me okay, I'm ready to proceed.
We are ready. I
Okay.
think Mr. Martin needs to allow you to present.
Oh, it's okay. We don't have a presentation. I was just gonna turn my camera on.
Oh, I see. Yes, you do that.
Okay. Thank you and good morning. This project before you today is a request for approval of a lot line adjustment to adjust the lines between two adjacent legal lots that are zoned agriculture 1 with a minimum lot size requirement of 10 acres. These lots are 17.68 gross acres and 10.32 gross acres respectively. And the lot line adjustment involves an equal exchange of land between the two lots to better align the property boundaries with the existing topography. Therefore, the gross acreage of both of these lots will remain unchanged and the lots will continue to conform to the minimum lot size requirement of the zone. These lots are located at 755 and 823 Chalk Hill Road in the San Ynez Valley Community Plan area. And access to both lots will continue to be provided by Vista Vista Lane, which is a paved private road under existing easement that's off of Chalk Hill Road. No development exists on either parcel and no development is proposed as part of the lot line adjustment. And the proposed project is categorically exempt from environmental review pursuant to section 15305 of the state CEQA guidelines. This exemption applies to minor alterations in land use limitations in areas with average slopes of less than 20%, which do not result in any change to land use or density, and including minor lot line adjustments that do not result in the creation of a new lot. So a notice of exemption has been included as attachment C to the staff report and provides details regarding how this project meets the eligibility requirements for this exemption. So based on the information that's presented here today and in the staff report, staff recommends that the zoning administrator make the required findings for approval of the project as specified in attachment A of the staff report, including CEQA findings. Determine that the project is exempt from CEQA as discussed in the notice of exemption included as attachment C of the staff report, and approve the project subject to the conditions included as attachment B to the staff report. And that concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions, and Ms. Fry, the applicant's agent, is also online and available. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Vosberg. Ms. Fry? Thank you for being here.
Hear me?
Ms. Fry?
Yes, are you guys able to hear me?
It's a little hard to hear you. Your volume is very low.
Okay, I can talk. Can you guys hear me now?
It's a little better right now.
How about now?
Okay.
That's better.
So, thank you very much. I really don't have too much to add. My name
Ms. Fry, do you have anything to add to Ms. Vosberg's presentation at this time?
No, I don't. Thank you very much for all the work on it. I think the staff report was excellent, and I look forward to completing the lot line adjustment documents.
Sorry, it's really hard to hear you. You're breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Just barely.
Hear me? Are you able to hear this?
Side.
Ms. Fry, are you on the telephone?
Yes, I am.
Are you driving?
No. Are you able to hear me better now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry, I had on my headset and the phone going.
Okay. So,
Yes, thank you very much for your work. And I don't have any comments.
Okay.
have you reviewed the conditions of approval with your client?
Yes, I did.
And are they in agreement with those conditions of approval?
Yes, they are.
All right, great. Thank you, Ms. Fry.
Thank you.
At this time, we have one request to speak on this item, Ms. Paula Shortell.
Yes, first of all, may I ask who is Christy Fry if she's representing the parties here? Is she with Brett Jones? Agency?
She is. Ms. Fry, can you explain your affiliation on this project?
You might have to unmute.
All right, can you hear me? I'm sorry for the audio.
Try the
My name
question.
is Christy Fry, and I work for Coast Engineering and Design and have prepared the legal descriptions, lot line adjustment, tentative map.
Thank you. I'm concerned because throughout this entire endeavor, I have tried to get Jake Rodriguez, who is the son of Al Rodriguez, and altogether they represent Finca Madruga, to change the address. 755 Chalk Hill Road is comes off Mesa Vista and it's no longer a road address, although it's still that way on the tax bill. 823 Chalk Hill Road is the address of this lady right here. It has absolutely nothing to do with this lot line adjustment whatsoever. I have tried for over a year and a half to get them to change it. They still have not, although they have assured me that they've done so. So now I'm wondering about the rest of the map.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about the map address, and this would be a perfect time to correct any addresses issues.
Ms. Vosberg, do we verify addressing when we were analyzing this project?
Yeah, thank you. This is the first we've heard, and I'm not sure I understood if the question, if it was 755 Chalk Hill Road and 823 Chalk Hill Road are the addresses assigned to the two lots. I didn't understand if one of those was an issue.
755 Chalk Hill Road is the address for both parcels 1 and 2. 823 Chalk Hill Road is a totally different address owned by Charity Romero. It has absolutely nothing to do with this except for the fact that it is the adjacent property.
Okay, then it seems like the address throughout the document should be changed to 755 Chalk Hill Road.
I advised Mr. Rodriguez at least a year ago, if not earlier, that he should apply for his own address through the Santa Barbara County Fire Department, and got replies that they were going to do that. That all was taken care of. It still has obviously not been taken care of. 755 is the address of the parcel owned by William R. and Paula J. Shortell. So wherever his property address is in the clouds. I know nothing about it, even though they told me that they got a new number. Obviously, they have not.
Often the numbers are assigned as they apply for the building permits. And it probably would not have been done with the lot line adjustment portion.
So Ms. Vosberg,
Yeah, thank you. So we had this project reviewed by County Fire, and County Fire is who is responsible for the address assignment. We didn't get any comments back from them that the address was incorrect. Like I said, this is the first we've heard about this, but we can, so I'd be hesitant to try and change the address here without confirming with Fire.
Ms. Vosberg, I will say that I am on the assessor's website right now, and there is no site address associated with the parcel that is of issue right now. So I would recommend that we continue this item to the next hearing, and that you verify the addressing and prepare a revision memo for our next hearing to verify the addresses, because I do not want an action letter that goes out with incorrect addressing, especially if it's going to affect another property owner that is not a part of the sub.
Would there be the assessor's numbers just be referenced and then correct the addresses?
That will be up to Ms. Vosberg, but at this time, I'm going to go ahead and continue this item to the next hearing. Because I do want to make sure that we verify these addresses and before we make any decisions on it, to make sure that it's accurate.
Don't the APNs kind of govern over the addressing for this approval?
The request and the agenda includes both the APN and the address, and that is what's the concern. Had it only included the parcel information, then I wouldn't be as concerned. So the next hearing of the zoning administrator is scheduled for November 6th. So I am going to continue this item to November 6th. Ms. Vosberg, if you can make sure that the revision memo recording the addressing is accurate, and that you prepare one and docket it for the hearing, that would be awesome.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Shorthill, for bringing that to our attention. I believe that concludes our hearing for today. Mr. Martin, thank you very much. Ms. Vosberg, thank you.
Thank you.